He constructed reasons to play hard that night. These little slights were deep indignations to him. That's all he needs. I mean, that's like throwing meat to a tiger.
Number 10, Free Solo. The line between bravery and recklessness can often be a thin one.
One little slip and you fall and die.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to understand it well.
Yes.
This examination of a rock climber attempting the near impossible asks us to consider which side of that divide its protagonist is standing on. The film follows Alex Honnold as he attempts to free solo the 3,000-foot tall, practically vertical rock face of El Capitan.
There's such a mental component to free soloing. The big challenge is controlling your mind, I guess. You're not controlling your fear, you're sort of just trying to step outside of it.
Located in the pristine Yosemite National Park, the climb is considered extremely difficult, even with ropes. However, as the name would imply, free soloing means climbing without any ropes or protective equipment, a feat never done on El Capitan or any cliff with that grade of difficulty. The film examines the persistence of the human spirit juxtaposed with the ethics of embarking up and even documenting such an endeavor.
That is way too gnarly. Oh my God, did it.
Number 9, The Last Dance.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Released at a time when most of the world was stuck inside and there were no sports on, The Last Dance quickly became a phenomenon. Of course, it was more than fortuitous timing that made the mini-series such a hit, as previously unreleased documentary footage from over 20 years prior was used for the film, chronicling parallel stories of Michael Jordan's last season with the Bulls and his NBA career leading up to it. The film showed how his grit and determination solidified him as the greatest to play the game.
Winning has a price, and leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged.
In addition to Jordan, the doc also gave insights into the others that made the Bulls' 6 rings possible, including Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson, Dennis Rodman, and even Steve Kerr.
It's one of those incidents where, I wish it never happened, but if I had a chance to do it over again, I probably wouldn't change it.
Number 8, Dogtown and Z-Boys.
A place where the fabled Route 66, the roadway of American dreams, terminates. This is Dogtown.
This doc tells how the iconic and revolutionary Zephyr skateboarding team grew out of a group of punk rock Venice Beach surfers. Interviews, along with archival grainy footage from the 70s, detailed how they brought this mentality to the skate scene and changed everything.
There'd be 5 or 10 guys really rocking and rolling in the bowl, each pushing each other's limits. It was an incredible scene. You could feel the energy coming out of the pool. It was intense.
The Zephyr team repurposed their surfing style to the asphalt and helped turn what was seen as a since-past fad for kids into the world's most popular extreme sport.
It turned into like a rock star thing, I mean, I went to London, England in 1976 or whatever. They had a bowl named after me inside an abandoned theater in London, England.
The lo-fi film effectively captured the grimy roots of the sport, caught by a former member of the Zephyr team, Stacy Peralta. Peralta's follow-up, Riding Giants, is equally impressive, delving into the origins of surfing itself. Number 7, Pumping Iron.
When I came home with my trophy, obviously my parents were very proud of me and they said, well, my son, that's my son.
Chronicling the rivalry between bodybuilders Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno in the lead-up to 2 competitions in 1975, Pumping Iron is a story of rivalry, competition, and the search for perfection.
Make one line. Try to make one line straight, so always remember that you have to have a line. Yeah, so now it's a line.
The larger-than-life figures, in more ways than one, compelled audiences and helped bring bodybuilding and fitness into the mainstream consciousness. Not only that, but the men at the center of the film were launched into stardom. Ferrigno went on to play the titular character on The Incredible Hulk, while Arnold eventually became one of the most popular movie stars of his generation, with a career that crossed from sports to acting and even to politics.
The one and only, the greatest, Arnold Schwarzenegger!
Number 6, Senna.
Few people really do know myself. They just don't understand.
Foregoing talking heads and traditional commentary, Senna uses archival footage to tell the story of racing champion Ayrton Senna's spectacular life and tragic death.
By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
The film argues that despite winning 3 titles, Senna's desire to always claim victory became an unrelenting obsession, exemplified by his friendship turned fierce rivalry with Alain Prost. As Prost retires, Senna keeps chasing another victory, a quest ultimately ending in his demise. The audience is then left to question the price of greatness and what we are willing to risk or sacrifice in order to achieve it.
Ayrton ran out of luck. He did not have a broken bone in his body. He did not have any bruising. If that piece of assembly would have gone 6 inches higher or 6 inches lower, he would have walked back to the paddock.
Number 5, touching the void. After summiting the west face of Ciudad Grande, stormy weather and tragedy struck the mountain climbing duo of Joe Simpson and Simon Yates. Simpson met near certain death.
This pain just came flooding down my thigh, and my knee was very, very, very painful.
After tumbling over an icy cliff, breaking his leg and becoming trapped in an icy crevice, all seemed lost. However, that was not the end for Joe Simpson.
I felt very, very alone. And I was very scared. I was also, I was 25, you know, I was fit. I was super ambitious, and this was the first trip we'd been on. I wanted to climb the world, and it just didn't seem, this hadn't been part of our game plan.
The film utilized interview footage from both Yates and Simpson cut together with reenacted footage to tell the incredible tale of Simpson pushing his body past conceivable human physical limits to survive. A beautiful story of perseverance and the boundless power of the human spirit. The film is one that demands to be seen.
I remember Simon grabbing my shoulders and holding me.
Put this light.
I remember that. That feeling of being held.
Okay. You're safe.
Number 4, When We Were Kings. This doc chronicles one of the most hyped up and ultimately memorable sporting events to ever take place, the Rumble in the Jungle. Two larger-than-life personalities, the defending heavyweight champion George Foreman and challenger Muhammad Ali.
If you think the world was surprised when Nixon resigned, wait till I kick Foreman's behind.
The latter had lost the title years before after his refusal to be drafted, and faced off with the former in the African country then known as Zaire in an attempt to reclaim it.
Boy, when I hear them brothers hollering like that, woo, I'm gonna get my soul and my spirit. 100,000 African brothers hollering Ali Boumaye, and I'm tired. I just can't take it no more. Let me get out of here.
The film combines new and old footage to tell a story of the fight, its questionable ethics, and Ali's cultural impact. Taking 22 years to edit, the film was well worth the wait.
He was like a sleeping elephant. You can do whatever you want around a sleeping elephant. Whatever you want. But when he wakes up, he tramples everything.
Number 3, Icarus.
Millions of citizens of Russia are united by the Olympic dream. Our national pledge to you is the choice of Sochi is the best choice.
American documentarian Brian Fogel formed a bond with Russian scientist Grigory Rodchenkov, who eventually revealed that he was the mastermind that oversaw a Russian state-sponsored doping program.
Because, you know, we are top-level cheaters, and to over-cheat us, you should be much such experience.
As Rodchenkov brought the astounding details to journalists and the U.S. Department of Justice detailing how Russian athletes doped and deceived Olympic officials, he began to fear for his life.
Brian, we are playing the most dangerous game in the history of sport.
It became clear that it was a matter of life and death when 2 of his colleagues died in mysterious circumstances, leading Rodchenkov to flee to the US, fearful of retribution from Vladimir Putin's regime. Icarus shows the absolute darkest side of sports in this film that helped expose one of the most sinister scandals in the history of organized athletics.
Does WADA have the ability to catch drug cheats today?
No.
Number 2, Man on Wire.
What if the God is still around? What if he's toying with us, waiting for us to make the slightest movement before he pounces on us? We must wait.
Premiering at the Sundance Film Festival, where it took home the Grand Jury Prize, Man on Wire tells the story of Philippe Petit's high wire walk between the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Despite being a story of a supreme physical feat due to the fact that what Petit did was highly illegal, the doc is structured less like a sports movie and more like a heist film.
With all my might, I go day and night, I note things, and I fill the exercise books with all those notes and little doodling, and I look at what commercial vehicle go underneath
for freight delivery. I go in, I find a way at lunchtime to disguise myself.
The film, which also took home Best Documentary at the Oscars, was popular enough to be adapted into a narrative film, The Walk from Robert Zemeckis. While that film has its own appeal, we still prefer this fantastic doc.
To refuse to taper yourself to rules, to refuse your own success, to refuse to repeat yourself, to see every day, every year, every idea as a true challenge, and then you are going to live your life on a tightrope.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Battered Bastards of Baseball, the fascinating tale of an independent, short-lived minor league team.
I mean, when the Mavericks left Portland, it was like the circus left town and was never coming back.
Once brothers. When a country split apart, so did these men.
To me, everything seemed fine, but I soon discovered something with Rajan had changed.
Undefeated. A group of underdog high schoolers become the new favorites.
6 years, we've gone from small to one of the best teams in Memphis. Throw your chest out and hold your chin up. Remember, the things that carry you are the things you've been taught.
Baseball. Ken Burns' epic tale of the American pastime.
The pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about.
Tokyo Olympiad. Incredible portrait of the athletes and spectators at sport's greatest stage.
World record, another gold medal for the United States. The men's 100 meters, there's Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes going up. Bob Hayes has just won men's 100.
Number 1. Hoop Dreams. This basketball doc begins with a pair of 8th graders being recruited to play at a prestigious school as they follow their dreams of becoming NBA players.
I will bet you a steak dinner in 4 years you'll be hearing from him. I don't even know anything about him.
All 3 hours of Hoop Dreams runtime are needed to tell the story of these young men coming of age in a world that seeks to commodify their talents. Over 5 years, the pair each experiences success and disappointment both on and off the court. Their families frequently struggle to make ends meet, and they deal with inner-city violence and trouble at home.
So you just barely getting by again?
No, you gotta say that.
But you are. You've been barely getting by all along. Now you're going to have to do better than that if you want to go to Alabama or any other school.
At the same time, their bodies are treated as products by recruiters, coaches, and the schools that desire them. The film is a fascinating and at times harrowing look at sports in the inner city.
That's why when somebody say, man, you know, when you get to the NBA, don't forget about me and all that stuff, I should say to them, well, if I don't make it, but you don't forget about me.
Which sports docs get your blood pumping? Let us know in the comments below.
When he took that shot, you could just hear the energy just get sucked right out of the building.
That may have been the last shot Michael Jordan will ever take in the NBA.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.